Alright, so today we're looking at 3 arpeggio exercises. If you're not familiar with arpeggio shapes, this is going to be a really useful lesson in itself just for that. But actually the real focus for the lesson today is actually getting ourselves to play across strings more confidently. So what I mean by that is, most of us when we're starting out and we're learning scales to start using for solos, start improvising, we're playing these very sort of 2 notes, 3 notes per string scale patterns, and we kind of get into that habit, and that's kind of what our hands start to expect. 2 or 3 notes per string, and then you move on and you move on and you move on. So arpeggios, to a lot of us, when we first then start tackling them, kind of feel a bit unusual, and they're actually like a really, really important thing for us to learn, and really, really useful, and overcome a lot of barriers particularly when you're improvising. And there's a lot of other reasons why learning and understanding arpeggios is, from a theoretical standpoint, is really, really useful and really important. But the barrier to getting that to work, for most of us, is that fact that we're playing a single note per string half the time. In a lot of these arpeggio patterns, a lot of the very common patterns anyway. So we find that difficult at first. The picking hand is the bit that struggles more than anything else often. So these exercises really are designed to kind of help with that as well. So I've come up with 3 little exercises, kind of varying degrees of difficulty, but they'll incorporate, a few different arpeggio ideas that are going to help us, but they'll also kind of test us, with the picking hand, playing across different patterns across multiple strings. Okay, so exercise 1 is 4 different arpeggio types in one position. And so what we're going to have to be doing here is playing like with a triplet feel across the strings. So we're basically now only playing on the D, G and B. Tab will be up on the screen. What we're going to start off with is we're going to play this major 7 arpeggio. Yeah. Once we get to that point and we land back at the root note, that will be our start point of a dominant 7 arpeggio. Okay, so we've just done major 7, straight into dominant 7, only 1 note's difference, we're just flattening that 7th. Now what we're going to do is play the minor 7, at the, when we hit that next root note. Yeah, so again, all in the same position, we're playing in the key of D here. And then finally we're going to play like a half diminished, like a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. Okay, so all of those 4 with the major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, and then the half diminished. Alright, exercise 2 is a minor 7 arpeggio exercise, and it doesn't matter where you play it. For the example here, I'm going to play it here kind of with the root at the 7th fret in E minor. Yeah, there's the scale. We're now going to play the arpeggio. So we're going to start up here from the flat 7 and we're going to play. Okay, so exercise 3 is a major 7 arpeggio exercise, and this one's going to get us to play, a couple of different sort of arpeggio shapes here, but also it's going to get us to play some string skipping stuff, which is always useful. So the exercise runs like this. So it's forcing us to play up this major 7 arpeggio here. Yeah, we're doing this in the key of B here. Yeah, and then we've got a finger slide, string skip, and then back into the bottom of that major 7 arpeggio shape there. We've also got some slides here down at the bottom as well. So again, the focus though on this, the whole thing is really working our picking hand, being able to jump across those strings. So the picking hand stuff in this exercise, that's where we're looking to get a payback later on. This is what we want to really improve here and get that fluidity. This kind of exercise, if you can take your time with it, really importantly, and keep to, playing alternate across all of these exercises and make it start to feel really sort of flowing, yeah? and get that sort of even attack across the arpeggios, that's going to pay off when you come to play broken chord or whatever you might be doing, anything that's across the strings.